how long do you see yourself still going? I mean, you started late, so and sometimes that can help because obviously you don't take that early damage as you're developing.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, I always say, especially in this sport, like age does play a factor because, you know, certain sports you can go basketball. Andrew Gaze played till he was 50. I mean, look, Couture fought till he was 48. Don't get me wrong. But I always say, you know, youth is a big factor in this sport because of reaction time, speed, recovery
just even
time.
your body coming through fight camps too. But yeah, I mean, the idea of Mike Tyson making a comeback is promising for me. But no, I totally get you too. And for me, like, and I've said it a long time, and that's probably why I am so proactive with setting life up after fighting, because I think unfortunately for me, the spark and the love and the desire will still be there long after my body tells me it's not time to, like, it's time to stop. I'm lucky in a sense, like I said, I'm setting myself up now so that I've got an interest still in the sport, where I can very much still be a part of it. And then, I've got a great personal life too, like my partner and I have got plans as well. So, yeah, I feel one of the biggest focuses I've had, and I've had for a long time, and it's probably because I've been surrounded by athletes and seen firsthand what it's like to be on the spotlight, being, you know, under the bright lights, and then the next day your career can be over and having to deal with that. So, you know, I've always had myself in a situation where, you know, if my career was all of a sudden over, I'd have things to fall back onto to help that, the mental side of it, because,
So is that like more in like investments, or are you talking about more like a plan? Like, you know, I know a lot of athletes, they'll start a gym, you know, and start coaching. Like, are we talking more setting yourself up in that sort of direction, or is it like personal investments that you've made that will hold you through afterwards?
Oh, no. Yeah, no, like little goals. So things to do after fighting. So it wouldn't be setting up a gym. That would probably be the last thing on my mind. But definitely mentoring fighters, managing fighters, you know, running a lot of seminars, doing my motivational talking, the mentoring the youth, running active kid programs. So, yeah, there's a lot, and I can't wait for this, obviously this fight to happen. But the 2-week quarantine when I'm back here in Australia, I need that 2 weeks in front of my laptop just to start putting things into play. Like, even for my partner too, like he's he's a soccer player as well, and he's actually someone that I've learned a lot of. So going back to the story where you can, you know, playing under the bright lights, you know, performing under the bright lights, and literally the next day your career's over. That happened to him. So to have that, like, you know, that support from my partner over the last few years has really helped me in pivotal points of my career where, you know, I've potentially been thinking about retiring and, you know, focusing on other things, and, you know, even having him sort of sit there and say to me, like, babe, especially at your age now, if you retire, that's it. You can't decide to come back in 12 months' time or a year's time. Like, if you retire now, you're done. Like, are you ready to end your career? And I was lucky that I had that support, especially from, you know, a partner as well, because let's face it, being a partner to a female fighter is not the easiest role. So he could have very easily been selfish in that instance, but he wasn't. He was supportive, and I'm here today because of him.
And when you say like it happened to him, like what were the circumstances around that? Was it like injury that pulled it out from him, or? Yeah,
well, a bit of both. So he was actually funny enough. So my son's a goalkeeper for soccer, and he's a goalkeeper for soccer as well. So so Kian's very, very lucky that he's obviously got me.
Okay, so on that though, who's the favourite parent then?
Mummy's always a favourite.
Fair play.
No, but Kian's got a lot of support in the sense that he's got a stepfather that's, you know, reached the top level in Australia in the sport and the position that he's now playing in. So, and then obviously me as a mother, and then us as parents too. Like, yeah, we still try and keep him very grounded. But going back to the question with Dion, he was playing for Newcastle Jets, the A-League team, and had a shoulder reconstruction, and then it was a mixture of injury, and then he had a bad manager at the time too. So it was like overnight, phone calls, this and that, and then his career, his contract was terminated, and he was But for him, nothing was sort of set up in place for life. Well, he was only young at the time too, so you kind of don't think about those things. And so, yeah, he actually, you know, spiraled downhill, went through depression and this and that, obviously still getting over injury. And, so it was a tough time for him. So he shared that knowledge with me, which has helped me a lot in my career. So